Delight Cafe team and I traveled across the U.S. researching this rapidly growing industry of CBD products. What we have found throughout the industry were products that were inconsistent in dosage and used ingredients that weren't even lab tested. Products with chalky textures, bitter aftertaste, and worst of all, confusion among the CBD consumers. That's why we created Delight Cafe. A 15 milligram, lab-tested, all-natural, water-soluble hemp CBD powder pack. It's odorless, colorless, and tasteless. Add it to your favorite drink of choice, wherever, whenever, on the go. Quickly find your calm, your balance, and your delight when you need it most.
Good morning. Good morning. Java Delight will uplift you. Stay tuned. The show is about to begin. Grab your coffee. Stay tuned. This show is about to begin.
Hi, my name is Gavin Kerr.
My name is Brandon Croucher.
And you're watching Java Delight.
Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring that bell.
Enjoy the show.
Good morning, ladies. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in. Gavin and I were having fun making faces in the background at each other. It's great to see everybody here. Welcome to Java Delight, the newest episode coming up now. Gavin Kerr, ladies and gentlemen. He is 100% adorable, 100% sexy, and Gavin has something new. Can anybody, don't tell him yet. Can anybody find the new thing on Gavin? It is visual. It is in the middle of the screen. Let's see if you can. Let's see if you can figure it out. Guesses, go. So, ladies and gentlemen, I love how that intro though, right? You didn't like Gavin and I cheersing? Cheers.
Cheersing. Is it cheersing or cheering?
Cheers, like you
Cheers.
say. Cheers.
Yeah, I've never heard anybody say cheersing. Toasting.
I was toasting. We toasted our audience. We're happy they're here. We're grateful to have them. Like, I don't know, brother. Cheers. Yes, cheers it. We're going to cheers it. Oh, that's funny. Cheersing. But we are here at a great day. Gavin yesterday had a long day. I feel bad for him, but he'll tell you all about that in a few minutes. We all know where Gavin was yesterday. They do. I said it.
Do?
So I did.
Okay.
I said Gavin's not here because he's, and so we're seeing if anybody figures it out though and notices, like you and I talked about, because I didn't notice right away, and I had to make you show me.
No,
but
it's not my necklace.
where I gotta wear it's on his face or in his face. Ooh. I missed y'all lately. We missed you too, Mama Gotti. It's his 5 o'clock shadow. Jessica Dugas. Good guess, but guess what? No. 10 a.m. shadow. Good morning, Jessica Dugas. Good morning, Mama Gotti. Good morning.
Stuart Lone Wolf Holloway.
Good morning, Brett Gordon from Businesses Are People Too. Good morning. That's everybody. Boom. Perfect. There.
I like how Brett said cheers. It reminded me of a little skit I saw on YouTube where this person said, "Take chair," as his friends were leaving. They look at him confused. They go, "Take care?" And he goes, "Yes." And then goes over 3 blocks down to his friend's house and goes, "Thomas, it's take care."
Not take chair.
To a room just full of bar stools and office chairs and lawn chairs, just packed to the brim.
Oh, that's funny. So Jessica Dugas has another guess, and so does Mandy Atterbury. Do you have a new tooth?
No.
No new
Not
teeth.
yet.
Not you. What about a piercing?
No.
Huh?
No, I'm done with my piercings.
You're done? I have a few I still want.
Yeah. No, I got my ears. I got my eyebrow. That's all I really wanted.
I've had multiple piercings that I've taken out.
Yeah.
Like I had my labret pierced, I've had my upper lip pierced, I've had my nose pierced, I've had my eyebrow pierced. That one I got for free. Did I ever tell you about that?
No, you do not.
I went in with a friend. They were getting a tattoo. We were talking about. I literally said to this lady, I go, I could just zone out. I'll zone the F out, and you could pierce me anywhere, and I wouldn't move. And she goes, nah. And she goes, I bet I pierce your eyebrow, and you'll freak out. Most people jump and they like they freak. I'm like, all right, deal. I sat there.
Wow. She gave you an easy one. I would have said, all right, let me pierce the cartilage of your ear.
Oh God, those hurt. Like
Yeah.
this one right here.
Yeah.
That was my most painful piercing, and I have my nipple pierced.
Yeah,
Like,
I believe it.
Like I would do my other nipple before I would do this one, but truth is, I'm probably gonna get that.
I
pierced
think
too.
that I still have the X-rays of an old friend that I used to know of her nipple piercings, because I damn near soiled myself when the doctor came in. I had a friend who I had to take to the hospital, and because she had she thought that she cracked a rib at work, so I took her there, and she got an X-ray done, and the doctor was like, "So here's your heart, and these are your lungs, and well, you know what those are," and I damn near soiled myself.
That's funny. That's
I think
funny.
I still have it around here somewhere. I'll have to find it.
Metal is scary, is what I'm getting. The worst part is I know his humor, and that is actually really funny. Like Brian, that's my buddy Ryan. He does a whole bunch of video stuff and video editing and movies. He has a degree in it. He's a future celebrity. We don't know it. All right, like he won't admit that yet. Stuart Lone Wolf says he has never had anything pierced, but is ready to start now. Is not about to start now. I mean, so that totally backfired on my question. I was going to say, it's like, what are you about to get pierced? And then I read it again, and I'm like, it says not. Jessica Dugas says she's only had her ears pierced at one point. She had 14 in one and 12 in the other.
Holy
that is a
shit.
lot of piercings. I have to be honest. I am the fame. Him and I get together. It's the most awkward thing for people, but we're funny. I have never. I'm not reading that, Brett. Are we talking about piercings? Yes, we are. So what are we missing? What's the new thing? The new thing is Gavin and I are getting ready to do. Oh, there it is. Gavin, show them off here. I'll give another clue. There you go. I never pierced my lip, but my braces when I was a kid. That's a good tip from Mr. Gordon in the back with businesses are people too. Very good tip. Gavin, let's give a smile. There we go. Look at that. Honestly, buddy, you look great. You really do. Guys, I don't blame you if you're a little self-conscious and like it's new to you, so I can understand, but you look great, buddy.
I was very self-conscious until the one girl that I've been going on a lot of dates with. I still am not revealing her name, and you can't properly say it. So the girl I've been going on a lot of dates with lately.
That's why I did it the other day. I'm like, I can't say her name correctly. Yeah. I've been told 4 different wrong names by her, so I have no idea.
She wanted to see them. She's still out on her road trip. She wanted to see them. And I was very hesitant, but I did show her. And the first thing she said is, "Aw, you look like a cute little nerd. I can't wait to shove you in lockers." She told me that, and I was like, all right, I feel 100 times better about these now.
Honestly, that is adorable because that's just cute flirting.
Yeah.
When I said that to Brett, he actually sent the army after me. And I was like, "You're in the Air Force. How'd you do that?" And he's like, "I have my connections."
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. So Brett says he's into S&M sex toys, which nobody is surprised by that.
What the hell is S&M sex toys?
I just let him have his thing. I think he thinks
is that a boomer thing?
It's BDSM before there was the B.
Ah, okay.
Brett hadn't been a part of it yet, so the B didn't make it into BDSM. Brett's in the back going, "Oh God." Braces. Brett pointed it out. Gavin has brand new braces.
Yes.
Mike Herzog says lockers. Yeah, Gavin now, because he has braces, has the girl that he was dating that I cannot pronounce her name, so I don't say it anymore. She is honestly on her way to push him in a locker when she gets back. She's going to be his bully from now on, so it's very exciting.
I'm pretty handy with the ruler, so I got some self-defense on me. Got my D&D going on. I'm a level 30 wizard, so we'll see how well she fares against me.
So Brit Brat gave everybody a very big tip today to live by. Helpful hints with Brat, because she is a brat. If you find yourself in a she has no problem admitting that too. If you find yourself in a situation where your nipple ring won't unscrew, use the sticky part of a Band-Aid to get it unstuck. Hashtag magic. Truth is, that does work. Or you could use your t-shirt and just go, and it works too. That's how I undo mine. I got to get a new ring anyway soon. The threats of bullying is a healthy flirt. Is healthy flirting.
Yeah.
Him and I talk crap to each other. So that's why I'm laughing, because I'm like, that means I'm always flirting with somebody.
Oh, yeah. No, she called me brace face, and I was over the moon.
Brett, is that what this was supposed to be? Brace face. Is that what this is supposed to mean? S&M, Skittles and M&Ms? Because that's what I'm picturing. Bullying is the best form of flirting. Fine. We're going to play this game. And I know someone who's watching who never comments and watches the show. In 3rd grade, my first girl I ever asked to be my Valentine was a bully. And she ran away from me when I said, would you be my Valentine? Ran away full speed, jumping off a swing. So childhood trauma bullying is not flirting. It's just hurtful.
I mean, you learn that no means no.
She and I are best friends to this day. So it's kind of funny. That's how that worked out. She is amazing. So I am personally sad that the meetup isn't happening with the customer service phone rep. I am sorry your phone rep isn't coming. You see, I told you, you cannot see them. I cannot see them. I thought you have Invisalign. So no, he doesn't have Invisalign, but you look great, buddy.
They're clear. And yeah, it's mostly just like me having to deal with them pulling on my goddamn teeth all the time. So,
yes.
And also, I don't know how to eat. I had these for maybe, 30 minutes yesterday, Brandon, and then I broke them already.
I text us after the show, and I go, hey, how are you feeling? How has the braces gone? And he writes back, good, I'm hungry, and I need to eat something. And I write back, what did I write back?
I don't know. Probably be careful, eat something soft, something small.
No, ice cream. I said,
ice cream, that's right. Yeah.
I was like, this is the best excuse for you to eat ice cream. So
I said that I want real food.
And I said, go ahead, go get your real food, but you've got to be cautious. 30 minutes later, I get a text. I already popped one of my braces off. I was like, dude, I said, this is your excuse to eat ice cream.
What had happened was, and it wouldn't have mattered what I ate. My one canine is coming down through my hard palate. Behind my other teeth, and that one needs to get pulled up, so there's a wire on it pulling it back into place. But the way that I close my mouth, my bottom front teeth would sit between my top front teeth and that canine. So when I went to chew, I snapped that wire. Ow. So I had to take it back, and they redid that, and then they put stoppers on my back molars, so that way now when I close my my jaw, it's like there's less space for me to close it, so that way it closes sooner, so I don't hit that wire anymore.
Ow. It sounds like if you continued to do that, it would hurt a lot.
Yeah. I mean, they're all really sensitive right now, so it took me 30 minutes to eat a damn bowl of oatmeal, so it's going to be a long 2 years.
So, Mama Gotti has a question for you, buddy. Why aren't you saying her name?
Oh, why am I not saying her name? Because we're taking things slow.
You're being friends first.
No, we're definitely being friendly with one another. But we're not exclusive, and saying that we are seeing one another online is like it seems like a big step to us in a sense. So
honestly, I can get what
we're
you're saying.
Private people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know what? You're more than welcome to keep her name silent because I can't say it. Jesus, why are we normalizing healthy, playful flirting? First off, healthy, playful flirting is not really bullying, it's rough sex. Now, at the end of the day, I mean, it turns into that, but at the end of the day, don't bully to be a dick. If you're just a dick, don't be a dick. Flirt, and like if I say, "Hey, Gavin, those braces look good," caught on me later. Like that's playful bullying, hurting.
That sounds painful. That sounds like more hurting than playful or bullying.
Well, it's a combination of all of it, and because I'm being playful while flirting with you and being a bully that you have braces.
Does Delight have a harassment hotline that I can call really quick?
1-800 go fuck yourself. So Jessica Dugas says to me, she says, "Brandon, you're missing the boat. I'm talking about customer service rep that Gavin met when we were trying to fix his internet." Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
That is a great one. Good comment, Jessica Dugas. I forgot about that. Where Gavin got the Facebook friend of a girl online that was in another country that was that was fixing his internet. It was the greatest thing.
I was talking to her in a bit. I wonder how she's doing. Hopefully well.
I hope so.
Yeah. Well, she lives in she lives like the Philippines or something, so she's making like pennies an hour. Eat something small. Yeah.
You got to read that all the way out loud because that's a funny
when Brandon
one.
says eat something small, that is his flirting.
Thank you.
You know, Mike. That's not the first little Brandon joke that we've made this morning.
That's two. That's two about me right now. I'm about to get like self-conscious. I'm not. CK Ford, Gavin, I spent an hour plus on the phone with Miss CK Ford last night. Guys, she has the most charismatic, caring energy I've been on a video call with in a long time. Her book is out right now. She's working on a devotional. She literally read me one of her future devotionals to show me it beforehand, which I was so honored. And then she turns around and reads it, and it hit me between the eyes. She goes, "I don't know why, but the universe is telling me to read you at like day 3. And she reads it, and it hit me like a ton of bricks. And it was my last appointment of the day, my last call of the day. I could not be more grateful to end my conversation and my business day with CK Ford. So I have to say that, and thank you for being an amazing person, CK. Gavin, what'd you get into last night?
So yesterday, I got the braces done. I did a bunch more in the house for cleaning up and everything, getting these rooms ready for the roommates. Turns out that I might have a 4th person coming in, and if they do, then I will be putting them in the what is currently the reptile room, but there's only a couple animals in there, so I'll have to rehome 1 or 2 of those and then replace in the house another 1 or so. But I'm not sure. I got to meet him. I have paperwork he needs to fill out to see if he'd be compatible and a good fit for the household. So I did that, and then I also went and did some band rehearsal. Did some singing yesterday. I was going to go to karaoke, but I got home and I ended up, I was tired, and so I just did some more cleaning and then watched The Boys on Amazon. I watched a couple episodes of that awesome show, and then I went to bed.
Nice.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I hope so.
It sounds like a good evening. Gavin, you will be a great for your significant other one day, no matter who they may be. Mama Gotti asked a question. You don't have to answer this. His ex is
yes, it's the new girl. Yeah.
I just want to make sure I point that out, just because otherwise I want to be fair. But at the same point, you should be friends first. Just saying, as Britt Bratt is trying to connect with Brett. She's using our friendship to connect with Brett Gordon's because she really thinks he's hot. She keeps telling me that. She's like, how do I get Brett's number? So, and then Mike has a great one here asking me, who's joking? I would never belittle Brandon's capabilities in the way of love. I'm sorry. That was funny. I laughed like really hard at that at first. And Mama Gotti does have a good question here that I know the answer to, but I 100% think you're going to be able to explain it better. Brushing your teeth now. Does this mean you're going to have the little dots on your teeth after they come off? Like, what is it?
Not to. So I have pretty decent dental hygiene as it is. I used to not. I used to have god awful until I was probably 17. Honestly, I had really, really bad dental hygiene, and something clicked in my head where I was like, "Hey, you're an adult. Get your shit together." And so I started brushing and flossing and mouthwash and whitening and all that fun stuff. With these, I have a couple special tools for going under them, which is actually really satisfying. Not gonna lie, like I've never enjoyed cleaning my teeth so much.
I hate to say this, but I love flossing.
Yeah.
And it sounds so weird. So many people think that's like, oh, I can't stand it. Buddy, when you get something in your teeth and you move it and it pops and goes, oh, it feels
I got a couple
so good.
of special tools I got like this little like bristle thing for getting in between the braces. And then I have some special floss. I've heard of the water pick. I'm going to look into it. But I have a special like rubber needles that I attach floss to so I can go in between my actual teeth still. And then instead of just brushing straight on and then on the surface and then the back, I have to do that with my teeth, and I have to do that again with each brace as well. So it probably like extends the time by double. But I mean, I'm doing all that. I'm using mouthwash each time, doing it twice a day. So my goal is to have very, very minimum to no plaque buildup. I also, as soon as I'm done eating, I also go and I rinse out my mouth and everything, and I make sure there's no extra food in there. So it's been a hell of a process that I'm going to be adding into my daily life, but I'm going to do my best to make sure that I don't have any sort of extra issues added onto this.
Honestly, I think you're doing the right thing, buddy. I know you were nervous about it. You and I talked. Keep your head up. It looks good. Yeah. Nobody notices. So, and if anybody makes fun of you, don't worry. Brett, I understand Brett is packing right now and he's ready to protect you. So don't.
There was only like two people that I was nervous about, and they both were strangely supportive about it. So
see, Sherry McQueen just sent me this, and I feel so bad. The cancer is destroying my teeth. Sherry McQueen, please know I hate to hear that that's going on, but we're sending you good vibes, love, energy. I'm taking some of the good vibes I give to Jessica Dugas this morning, and I'm giving them to you because Jessica needs to feel better too, but I can only send a certain amount out in a day, so I got to balance that. And Gavin already got 2 life points today. Man, it's been a busy one.
Yeah.
So, little tools, never enjoyed cleaning my teeth so much. Special tools. Brandon, this is your chance. Make a move on him now. I already did. I spent 60 hours in a car with him. He never caught one of my clues. Not one.
Oh, no, I saw them. I just kept my eyes on the road like a responsible driver.
You did. That's true. No matter how naked I got.
Yeah.
The dots on his teeth will not be there. They will scrape off the glue. They scrape the glue / dentifrice off the teeth when they remove the braces and buff them to a shiny perfection. Ooh. I know, because my youngest had braces for a few years. I love that. I love it. Yeah. Very cool. Oh, we got someone new that said hi. We got to say hi to him. It's going to be yours. You ready?
Yeah. Hey, Bob.
I knew you'd like that. I knew you like that. Listen, look at this. Buddy, they are supporting you so much. Like, I love that everybody's doing this and being so, like, for real. Yesterday, I don't know.
I like how they're supporting me, though. Like my crew was like, I support your right to choose. Like,
you don't know which way they're supporting you.
There's no baby inside me right now. I'm not like a struggling young mother or something like that. Like, I just got some braces. I love and appreciate all of you, but gee.
I'm 100% support you, Gavin. It is your body. You
so
you.
Brave.
21.
I love you guys. You're
oh
wonderful.
God, it is awesome. Did you? Gavin is always hot, no matter what. She can't.
That's because I don't turn the air conditioning on.
Honestly, dude, I have the AC is on in my office right now, and it is insanely humid in here. So yeah. I have a fan hitting me right now just to keep cool. Otherwise, I'd probably be sweating already. Like, you know how much I sweat.
I know how much you sweat. The ice cream in the middle of winter in the Antarctic. Yeah, I get it. You're a slippery boy. We know.
You're a slippery boy. So I want
He's a slick one.
Sweaty Brandon. He's we
Oh my
swear.
god, and you know sign language, you could be greased up deaf guy.
Why do I have a feeling that's about to turn into something?
No, you
Like
from Family Guy.
100.
Greased up deaf guy.
100%.
Okay.
I 100% know what you mean. He's I'm a greased up deaf guy. Oh, can't catch me. Yeah, I could do that.
Can't catch me. Oh.
I'm gonna just have to take a bottle of oil, dump it on me, and then run around like I do not want to do any of that.
I think that should be an actual. I think that should be an actual game. Like, you know how they have the gladiator battles or the gladiator races and the Spartan races? That should be the end thing. Once you complete it, you have to catch a greased up guy.
At the end of what?
You know the Spartan races were like the big obstacle courses?
Yeah.
Yeah, where it's
that's
like,
what you're saying at the end? You're exhausted at the end.
Exactly.
You have to catch a greased up deaf guy at the end.
I don't care if he's deaf or not, but he's got to be greased up. Yeah.
Could you? You guys all know I'm very into the deaf culture. I'm very supportive of like people in every area. Can you imagine at the end of a race that they're like, all right, guys, go catch that guy, and he's some deaf guy who's running out there, and people are just and falling off of him, and then the announcer goes on the loudspeakers like, ladies and gentlemen, please give the deaf guy some space. He's now just running in circles. Like, he's just running, and he can't hear that they've called it off, and he's just running around, leaving everybody behind, all greased up. Braces make tongue wrestling very dangerous. Slippery when wet, especially when sweaty. With braces, lip lock can take a whole new meaning. If you have ever locked braces with somebody, please put a comment in the post right now, because truth be told, I would love to know somebody who's gotten like all like I was stuck.
Can they do that? Could they lock?
Oh my god, yeah.
Really?
Yep. Don't get too close to a really powerful magnet either. Like, you get close to one of those really big magnets, it's just gonna.
I think that's. I'm calling Pollux on that. That's bullshit.
It is.
Yeah.
Guys, that's funny. Guys, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and share with your friends. Leave a comment, say hello. We're very grateful for you guys being here. Today, we usually have Christina on in the mornings on Thursdays, but we haven't heard from her in a little bit. Hope she's doing well. Sending her nothing. Did you send that message for me? I have not seen my Facebook to actually like check things. Last night I was working late. Sorry, Sherry. But since we haven't heard from her, I'm actually bringing on the one and only Brett Gordon from Businesses Are People Too. Brett is 100% going to be talking Shrek today. So if you like the movie Shrek, tonight Brett's going live at 6 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, 3 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, and he's talking about the leadership qualities that Shrek brings. Not Lord Farquaad, not Donkey, Shrek. So guys, do us a favor, tune in and make sure you pay attention tonight to Brett Gordon's show, because he's going to bring the knowledge, bring the love, and bring the positivity. As for our guest today, we have a good one. Gavin, are you ready for this? You ready for this? I don't think you're ready for this.
I've been ready for since 8:30.
I was waiting. I couldn't get in because my computer did an update and logged me out of everything, and I had to go back and call Brett back. I need a password. Yeah, it happens. So we have Samantha Buckley, which is just funny because you got braces on and I almost read buck teeth. And that's not me picking on you. It's literally how it looked in my head. Samantha is an American certified coach, originally from Seattle, Washington. Now an expat, which means patriot. I just caught you, Gavin. An expatriate. So she used to live in Cabo San Lucas, Mexico. She just happened to have a 7-year layover in Whistler, British Columbia, Canada, with 2 amazing sons and a wonderful 20-year marriage, 3 fur babies. Sam is a force. At 6'2" tall, she is a bit foul-mouthed. Yes. She is super effective and passionate about helping people design and live the lives they want to love. She has been managing and leading people her entire adult life and started a personal life sales and leadership coaching full-time back in 2011. In October 2019, Sam released her first book, Unsuck Yourself, or Stuck Yourself is, I think, the way it's supposed to be said. Unsuck Yourself. Stuck. yourself. Did it twice. The guide for designing a life you love, and gain Amazon bestseller status in 4 different categories. Her coaching business is perfectly named The Designed Life LLC. Guys, do not go anywhere. Stick around. We have Sam Buckley coming up, but right now, we are very blessed. We are very lucky. We have the one and only Shrek.
It's all ogre now.
Well, I don't know if I'm Shrek. I'm not quite donkey, but I have been called an ass, so that all kind of ties together.
I believe it. I 100% believe it. I could see that as if I was to pick a character that you would be, I would pick you as Shrek, just so you know, of all of them, just your personality. Now, that doesn't mean I don't see you as Lord Farquaad. Lord Farquaad was the other one I think of with you, because I just picture how big he is, and you're like a towering statue of yourself. So
exactly.
No,
It's a combination.
Brett would be the big bad wolf in Shrek. Remember how he's got the nightcap and everything, and he's laying in Sleeping Beauties? That's who Brett would be.
That would remind me of when I walked into your guys' room in the hotel. Everybody was kind of like the big bad wolf hiding in the beds.
Were we in bed? I don't remember. I thought we were all up when you came in.
Well, I don't know if you were up or not, but I wasn't looking there.
So Brett Gordon is going to be talking to us about his adventure today with Shrek. Brett, what's happening with Shrek? How is Shrek a leader, and why should anyone tune in other than your handsome face?
Yeah,
hey, Shrek.
There we go. There we go. That's
there
Brett.
you go.
To a T.
Yep, exactly. Shrek's life represents what so many people go through, in that we live in our own swamp, and we oftentimes make fun of other people's swamp because it's more opulent than ours. It's more sexy than ours. It's not as good as ours, but we all live in our own swamps. And that was one reason I say that, we can't drain the swamp, because then we'd have no place to live. We all live in our own swamps. And it's a matter of really being able to learn how to connect with others that live in different swamps without trying to tell them that they have to drain their swamp. We have to learn to live together, because there's enough beliefs that are tied to our swamps, our lives, that we're not going to be able to give up all of them. We're not going to be able to change all of them. And in fact, you cannot force someone to change their swamps, their belief systems. And Shrek, I think, kind of really illustrates the journey as you go from being isolated and in your own swamp to recognizing others, and then being able to learn that you can all live together, as opposed to having to have somebody change or leave those core things that are really tied to their comfort zones.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm a little confused. So he was happy he was living alone, everything, and then didn't all those animals and mystical creatures go to his swamp because they were kind of forced there? Like, what wasn't this more like I guess like a Native American scenario where they're like being like captured and then drove there, and he was like, "Hey, leave me alone, get out of my territory. This is my house. You're trespassing."
Lord Farquaad kicked him out of the far away.
Yeah.
And or that wasn't far away. He wasn't from far away. That's where Fiona was from. Yes. They were pushed into his swamp.
Yeah.
And he didn't like it, because he liked being alone. He liked being alone because everybody used to make fun of him. They used to pass judgment on him as being this big, ugly, mean ogre just by looking at him without ever getting to know him. Kind of like this whole thing about, beauty is only skin deep, or beauty is beyond skin deep, however you want to look at it. And that's why he really kind of relegated himself to living in his own swamp all by himself. And Donkey was actually one of the first characters that came into Shrek's life that didn't see Shrek that way. But Shrek immediately started projecting his belief that everybody saw him as this big, ugly ogre. But Donkey didn't. Donkey didn't pass that kind of judgment on him. Donkey was just being Donkey. And this is oftentimes what happens in people's lives. We take on this self-perception that may be because of some things that have been said to us, maybe because of what we look and see in the mirror, maybe what we see in ourselves, which is projecting others, but then projecting it back on ourselves, when in fact, that's not what others are thinking of us. But then when we act toward them as though that is the case, then it can actually be a self-fulfilling prophecy. So, that's just the beginning of Shrek, where we're really talking about those things. And then it goes on to the same kind of thing that Fiona has, where she doesn't see herself as beautiful except when she is in the princess form, the princess human form versus the princess ogre form.
Mm-hmm.
And then over the course of time, she gets comfortable with being in her natural form, her natural beauty, which is the ogre form.
Yeah.
So all of these are life lessons that are portrayed throughout the series of Shrek. And I think it's that journey that we all need to go through in one way, shape, or form. And we can leverage what we see in Shrek to kind of recognize, oh yeah, this is kind of me. Oh yeah, this is kind of them. Oh yeah, we can live together. And oh yeah, what I think somebody is thinking of me may have absolutely no connection with how they actually see me.
True. Very true. With that being said, there's a lot in that movie because they dictate things like, how many times in life have you heard about people just being moved into another area? They're told, all right, we're going to do construction here, we're going to move it. So that A is the first thing. Then you go to B. Shrek didn't want any of that change. How many times are we adapting to change that we didn't want? And he has to adapt to that. And then lastly is the way that everybody, and this is me just thinking outside the box like we do for this, is he literally had his people, his characters, his people, I don't know what to call them, that he didn't want to be a part of, and he went to go do it on his own. And in the end, it was about them coming together to be able to break down the big bad wolf. I know that's not who it really was, but you know what I'm saying, the king and the bad stuff. So it's a depiction of today, or that time frame back then too. It really is a lot more real life like. And for me, I like Shrek because it was that first comedy that was an adult comedy that kids could watch. So for me, I'm out here saying, hey, if we're going to be doing this, how many times do we have something that catches us off guard like that? For me, I love cartoons. You never would have guessed by my tattoos. But I love cartoons, and I love being able to see them be able to adapt these new movies into being more acceptable for us to watch as parents, as adults. And with Shrek, they broke the mold with that. They had fun with little humor and made it where we're able to adapt to this and be comfortable watching it.
It's kind of interesting, though, that you picked that up, because to me, if you go back and you watch some of the early Looney Tunes and things like that, there's a lot of subliminal comments that are made in those cartoons that
Maniacs
may not even be acceptable today. Because remember, all these cartoons are written by adults. So they put those things in there, and kids don't pick them up, but adults
that's the
don't.
thing. Like Disney back in the day. Disney had the racist crows. And like it had a ton of racism in their stuff, but it was at that time what people like. It didn't make a difference because that was like the thing that was going on, and that was how Disney portrayed it, and people didn't fight it. If you put any of those cartoons on YouTube now, they're going to be removed because they are offensive. They are bad. What Shrek did was not offensive. He didn't come at it as a racist. He didn't come at it as a negative. He didn't come at it like any other way than they made it where the adult comedy was something where they're not in your face. They're not like, it's not just putting it there. It's saying, hey, this is a fun joke, like the gingerbread man being startled and pooping, going boop, 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 like stuff like that. Like those are cute little jokes that kids will be like, ha, 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 they pooped, and all of us are laughing for different reasons. Like so much. Brett, I got to call timeout for a second.
Sure.
So I have to congratulate this girl because she has 100% been waiting for this day. Mandy Atterbury, she had an important announcement. Guys, my ex-husband came and got all of his stuff yesterday morning. I'm free. I'm free.
Nice.
Mandy, 100% proud of that. Happy for you. Build your best Mandy now. That's what's coming out of this. That's what's supposed to be there. Brett, back to you and being able to be on Hi. Oh, my God, squirrel. So, Brett, with that being said, Shrek is on tonight. You're going to be watching it with everybody, and you're going to be talking about it. Do you feel you live in a swamp ever?
Absolutely. Like I say, everybody lives in a swamp. We build our own swamp.
I definitely don't want people coming over and just showing up at my house and screwing with my stuff.
Well, that's the physical aspect of the swamp. We've got this mental swamp that we live in all the time. And we each have our own version of it.
Yeah, if you're asking if I have like my own like little like house in my head, like my own little rooms and world, then yeah, you could say that.
No, well,
no. In your head, he's saying
about
that
belief
our mind
and things like that.
That's what I just said.
Oh, we both thought
as opposed to compartmentalizing things. Okay.
Yeah, no. Like
but
in my head,
absolutely.
I have like my own like little spaces and whatnot that I go to.
Yeah, we have to. We just, everybody creates a swamp that they feel comfortable in at the time, and oftentimes we still continue to live in that swamp even though the times have changed, and that's when we run into a lot of challenges. We run into a lot of problems. We've talked about it in different ways in different shows. In the past, where something that was serving you at one time or in one situation, you use that same belief system in another time, another situation, and it doesn't serve you well. So that's why you have to always reevaluate and kind of clean up the swamp that you're living in, bring it back up to date, evaluate what's in there, and make some changes. Because times change, situations change, and that same swamp doesn't serve you the same way.
Very true. Very true. So, Brett, tonight's people are going to be tuning in. You're going to be talking about Shrek. You're going to be doing all these fun things. What is the outcome of tonight with the with Shrek and Fiona and all this? How are you're going to be teaching leadership and all that, but I don't know. Shrek is a pretty tough guy, and he's going to Donkey. Get out of my swamp, Donkey. You could talk all about Donkey's leadership style. We could talk about Fiona being a badass. Like, there's a lot in this movie. So, how did you determine which character you're going to be using as their leadership?
Well, just initially, just going with the main character of the movie. But you're absolutely right. You see different characteristics portrayed in each one of the characters, and each one it tends to serve in the certain situations but not serve in others. Donkey talking all the time, Fiona and her feelings toward her different self-images, the pairing up of Donkey and Dragon, Dragon from being this scary creature to being a loving mother. There's just all of that's in there. So I think that, the way that this afternoon's going to go is depending on how the audience wants to bring things up. And that's the great thing about the live and interactive session as opposed to the session that you and I do. We get a chance to get this input from the audience, and then we can start to take a different path based on audience experiences, audiences, and followers' comments and so forth. And that's what makes it fun. It also makes it great because everybody gets to learn from everybody else. And that's the true value in it. And there you go. Everybody needs a hug.
Everybody needs a hug. So I think that is pretty interesting, guys. So tonight you're going to want to tune in. You're going to want to watch 6 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, 3 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, and Brett is going to be diving deep into Shrek. Now, I want to play a game with you, Brett. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, guys. So here's the game we're going to play. Last night, my dad and I were talking, and he turned on the basketball game. And I know most of our viewing audience is not basketball fans, okay? So I was listening to the chants because the fans in Milwaukee were going crazy. And they're chanting things, and him and I are debating what they're saying, okay? So I want you guys to help me to decide what are they chanting here. And I'm trying to make sure I get it full screen. Can you hear it?
No.
Give me a second. Pause here, and I'll bring the sound in. I'm sorry, I thought I hit the sound on that button. Nobody look at the name of it, because the truth is this is hysterical, because my dad and I both have very different opinions. Ready, guys?
Yeah.
Here we go. Boom, play. Listen close.
Chris Paul loves watching film. I would suggest not watching it. It's not complicated. Think to yourself, I've got to be better. I've got to take care of the basketball, and I've got to take the pressure off of Booker.
What do you think they're chanting there? You guys can see the bottom of the screen what it says, but what do you think they're chanting there if you didn't see that? Anybody that didn't see the video,
I couldn't even hear
it. That's all I got. They're chanting Bucks in 6. I didn't get that. I go, Dad, what are they chanting? And he's like he looks at me and he goes, eat chicken? And I'm like, what?
Yeah, I thought they were saying bouncing say.
Bouncing say. And then earlier in the game, they're doing a chant. And I'm dying because they're actually cussing at the refs. They're going, F you refs, F you refs. But they're actually saying the word. And it doesn't sound like that. I go, Dad, they're chanting F you refs. And he goes, no, they're not. They're saying, I don't remember what he said, like, pizza something something. I'm like, pizza? Why would pizza be what they're chanting? And he's like, I don't know their chants.
I do that with song lyrics a lot, actually. There was that song New York. For the longest time, I thought that I think it's Rihanna who's singing in it. I thought, honest to God, she was saying guacamole, wet dream, tomato.
Now, what are the real words?
In New York, something concrete jungles are made of. Something like that.
Very good. Yeah. Very good, Gavin. Brett.
I still think the guacamole wet dream tomato whenever I hear it, though. It's so much better. So much more poetic.
Like, Brett, what is a song lyrics that you mess up? Can you think of a song that you mess up?
I mess up every song, so it doesn't really matter. I when I hear a song and I hear the words, I don't actually usually get any meaning from them at all. That's just not how I hear music, and that's why I have problems when I watch musicals like Hamilton or something where they're actually speaking or singing the
plot.
The plot. I have no freaking idea what the movie's about. It gives me a headache trying to even try to hear the meaning or comprehend the meaning. That it doesn't work for me.
That's kind of sad. I'm sorry to hear that. Damn.
Yeah,
So do
so
you not enjoy
I can
any
actually
kind of, like, rap music,
oftentimes
then?
sing the lyrics, but I haven't really comprehended the words.
So do you not enjoy rap then?
No, well, I don't enjoy it from whatever's being said because I have no freaking idea what they're saying. The only time I actually understand it is if I bring it up on YouTube with the lyrics and then I can read it.
Huh.
Then I'm like, oh, that's what they're saying. Oh, that's what the meaning is. Had no freaking idea up to that point.
Interesting. There's a song by Panic! At the Disco where he says "damn your kiss," and for the longest time I thought he said "damn your kids."
Well, and that's an interesting thing because that's where I say that multiple people can hear or watch the same thing and get completely different meanings from it because of how they interpreted the words, how they heard the words, how they placed meanings behind the words, and yet we all watch the exact same thing or listened to the exact same thing, but come away oftentimes with a 180-degree difference in what it meant to us.
Yeah.
So what is this? I had the song "We Built This City."
Yeah.
We built this city
on
rock
Starship,
and
right?
roll. I had to look up the lyrics to that because I thought it was "We built this city on sausage rolls." Like, for real, I had to look it up. Sausage. But the funny thing is that comes up as one of the top 50 most misunderstood song lyrics. Isn't that interesting?
I thought it was "Broken Road."
No. The song goes, "We built this city on rock and roll."
I know, but I always thought it was "Broken Road" for the longest time.
Oh.
Built this city on broken road.
Money for nothing and your chips for free. Do you guys know that one?
No, I've always known those lyrics.
I know the song.
So is that the correct lyrics?
No, it's "Chicks for Free."
Chicks,
Bingo!
yeah.
Good job. Money ain't money for nothing and chicks for free. Good job, Gavin. Every time you go away, you take a piece of meat with you. That's an easy one. It's every time you go away, you take a piece of me with you. I'm looking for the album on the one that I was just saying because I want to make sure I say the right thing. And now I can't find it. Dancing Queen, feel the beat of the tambourine. What is the actual verse? Is it "Dancing Queen, feel the beat of the tambourine"? "Dancing Queen, feel the beat of the tangerines"?
Tambourine.
Duh.
I want it to be tangerines, but
I wanted it to be tangerines. I was having fun looking up songs yesterday, and since the YouTube one did not work for me of why the video didn't play, I wanted to be able to play a game with you guys and see if you could get some song lyrics incorrect and correct. Well, I'll have to make that better so people could hear part of the song and make it where they're able to have that better. So, Jane, we are so excited to have you on the show. Like yesterday, you were amazing. We had a great time. Like, we are honored you were here. So thank you for coming by and saying hi today. And "Tricks for Free" is the right verse, not "ticks." That would be the best world. Rocky Road. So, guys, it has been a wonderful morning. Brett Gordon is going to be having fun with us. "I Love Sausage Rolls" was the #1 record here from "I Love Rock and Roll," Joan Jett. So, true story, I have fed Joan Jett. I literally have fed. She is a vegan, and when I had my restaurant downtown years ago, like that way we're all. I know, Gavin, she's not here anymore.
No, I'm laughing just because I read the sausage roll comment, and then he said, "I fed Joan Jett," and I just imagined you with like a fire hose made of sausages just thrown together, just like, "Come on, Joan, you're gonna love it."
Oh my gosh, I thought ZZ Top "Sharp Dressed Man" was a Shotgun Sam. She thought, yes, I did the same thing. There's a ton of great songs out there. Give us your favorite song that you mess up the lyrics to. One of mine, and I know nobody's going to know this song. It was by a Christian band singing a worship song. and I could not break from the lyrics that I thought he was asking for a blowjob through the whole song. And I'm dead serious. I would listen to this, and he's like singing these words about wanting to get closer to you and needing you to. And I heard it going down on him, but it's talking about like bending down your knees. And the way he phrased things, I'm sitting here going, when did this band become such a sex-driven band where they're putting this in their lyrics? And then I looked up the lyrics, and I'm like, I have a very bad mind. Like, not at all close to what I thought it was going to be.
Forgive me, the cry of sin.
For love of God, get on your knees. Like, I'm like, oh my God. Like, what? Why? Oh man!
Have you ever seen? For those children watching, go somewhere else for about 3 minutes. Have you ever seen the episode of South Park when Randy tries to write a musical? So they go. Randy goes and sees a musical with his wife Sharon, and she ends up going down on him on the way home, and it breaks into this whole conspiracy about how musicals are all like have embedded subliminal messages in them to get women to give oral pleasure to their men afterwards. And he's like, yeah, listen to the lyrics and like just listen really closely. And they're watching Wicked and the woman is singing and stuff like that. And then the gentlemen are in the background and the chorus just going, blowjob, blowjob, blowjob. It's like really quietly. And Randy writes a musical, but he's just blatantly saying it everywhere. Like the whole songs are just nothing but about that, and it has caused this whole controversy in the town. It's like, you're doing it wrong. You're gonna ruin musicals for everybody.
Honestly, I don't see how, because South Park is the only creators that have won so many awards. They've got Tonys, they've got Oscars. And I am not a big South Park fan. Stuart, you and I are both the same on this. I've seen, I like Rick and Morty. Believe it or not, which is way worse. I like Rick and Morty a lot more because the writing on it is just different and it's more modern, I thought. But I've watched a few episodes, like the COVID episode of South Park. Oh my God, that was one of my favorite things I've seen. That is absolutely one of the best episodes. And I'm not a South Park fan, but I laughed so hard. Brett, you would like that episode of South Park.
The earlier seasons of South Park were more so very, very shock value, not quite as much tongue-in-cheek, but more very in-your-face about just obscene things. Because it was these two guys, anything would come of it. As it got more popular, though, and they started to get more funding, they started to really tag team each side of political spectrums, making fun of everybody and really doing a lot of like tongue-in-cheek things where if you didn't know what was going on in the world, you would miss half the jokes that they had in there, but they played them in a way where you would still laugh because they were on the forefront. They were very funny jokes, or they were just straight up immature, so people would laugh at that. But then if you understood the pop culture and the politics going on around you in real life, then you would see those too. Because like me and my grandmother were dying laughing watching probably like 4 years ago or a little bit longer now when Hillary and Trump were running for presidents, and South Park just completely ran with that for a whole season. And they had Mr. Garrison, and it was like they were talking about why it's important to vote. And Stan was upset because they had to vote for a new school mascot, and it was between a turd sandwich or a giant douche. He's like, there's no point in it. And they end up banishing him from the town because he doesn't vote. And he comes back to vote, and he puts in his vote, and the votes are like 152 to 7. Like, that was the difference in the vote. And he was pissed off. He's like, well, there was no point in me really doing this. And his dad goes, yes, but your voice matters.
It does matter. It does matter.
Yes.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we are coming up to the top of the hour. We are getting ready to have our special guest come on. Her name is Samantha Buckley. Brett Gordon, we want to thank you before I go away. I want to thank you for being on today and all that. Jane, I see your comment in here. I want to make sure I say hello again to you because, guys, Jane is actually a cannabis master. She has a master's degree in cannabis. She has been working with so many different organizations and places. I had her on the H last night. Thank you for stopping by and saying hi. Go give it a listen and make sure to give her some love too by giving her a follow. Thank you guys. So we have a special guest today, Mr. Gavin. It is Samantha Buckley. She is an American certified coach, originally from Seattle, Washington, and is now an expat. She lives in Cabo San Lucas, Mexico. She's going to be showing us the ocean and how beautiful it is there. She just happened to have a 7-year layover in Whistler, British Columbia, Canada. She has 2 amazing sons, a wonderful 20-year marriage, and 3 fur babies. Sam is a force at 6'2" tall. She is a bit foul-mouthed, like I said earlier. Yes. Can't wait. But she is super effective and passionate about helping people design and live the life they want to love. The life they love. She has been managing and leading people her entire adult life and started personal life sales and leadership coaching full-time back in 2011. In October 2019, she released her first book, Unstuck Yourself, The Guide to Designing a Life of Love, and gained Amazon bestseller status in not 1, not 2, not 3, 4 different categories. Ladies and gentlemen, please do us a favor. Give her a wonderful hello and thank her for being here today. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Samantha Buckley.
That was impressive, man.
How you doing, Samantha?
I try.
I'm so
try.
cool. I didn't even know I was that cool.
I am curious, Brandon. So you said not 1, not 2, not 3. What if she would have had 7? Would you have counted all the way up to there?
Honestly, I would have done the LeBron thing, like when he went to Miami and he's like, we're not going to win 1 championship. We're not going to win 2. We're going to win 7. I just would have skipped all that like that.
Okay.
Like he did.
By the way, 7's one of my favorite numbers just because it's really fun to say it. 7.
7. 7. Now, wait, is it one of your favorite numbers because of that episode of Friends where Monica is like teaching Chandler and Ross and Joey the proper ways to make a woman happy? And she's like telling them spots on the body, and she goes, you started a 1, a 1, 2, a 1, 2, 3. A 1, 2, 3, 4. A 1, 2, 3, 6. Oh, 7. 7. 7. And she just goes nuts. It's hilarious. Like that's what I thought you were gonna go.
Nope,
I think so.
Might be it. That might be a subconscious I forgot thing.
You know, I got your back, Samantha. Cheers.
Thanks, buddy.
For whatever
Appreciate
reason, 7 seems to be a very popular number amongst people. It's always been considered a very lucky number.
Yeah, but 8's really a lucky number.
Why is 8 a lucky number?
I don't know. The Chinese say that the 8 is a really great number. That's one of their lucky numbers, and they're into numerology.
Interesting.
I know.
It is. And in Christian culture, 3 and 7 are the big numbers.
I know 3.
So
Yeah.
3 is if like it's supposed to be watching patterns. So 3, if like you hear something 3 times. Like death. You hear about, oh, this person passed away, and then you hear 2 more. It's, death always comes in 3. If you watch what's going on in your life and you hear, I know, I'm sorry, Sam, I don't want to go dark there. If you watch somebody saying something like Gavin, we've joked about me in certain ways today, and you made the comment, oh, that's twice. If we hear it a 3rd time, I'm supposed to know that I have some small stuff. And you missed the beginning, Samantha. I apologize. Welcome to a very unique version of the show today.
Awesome.
So we are here today. Samantha, you have got a really cool book. I'm interested in it because I read it wrong the first time. Like I read it out loud and I wrote "unsuck yourself," and Gavin goes, "That's fine." I'm glad that one works. So tell me about unsucking yourself.
Well, that's what it is. I mean, that's obviously the asterisk of play on it, right? It's kind of like I actually want to call it something else, but I'm not. Yeah. Anyway, so the thing is I've been a coach for 10 years. You know, you read in the lead up that and managing people and you know that stuff for a long time. I don't want to mention my age, but a long
21.
time. I look terrible for 21, but I look okay for 55.
You know what? I'll give you 55, and I'll think you're 21 in my heart.
Oh. I act 21.
I do too. That's why we're going to get along.
Awesome.
He is 21, so that doesn't help us either way.
That's amazing. That's awesome.
Right.
That's great. Okay, hold on.
Yep, take it. So
okay, so this book, go ahead. No, say it, Brandon.
No, I'm just curious about, so you have your book. Gavin and I were talking about how the star was in that spot and all this before, and he goes, I have to ask her if that was intentional or if there's something else there. So like him and I have been having fun with your book already this morning.
Gavin, it's a book. Of course it was intentional.
Well, no, I want to know why
it's not like a typo.
Why the T
Whoops.
instead of the U? Why would you take out the T instead of the U?
Because first of all, I'm kind of playful.
Yeah.
And second of all, because some people see it with an F.
Yes.
And really, it's just how do you want it? However you receive it is how it's supposed to be.
Gotcha.
Very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, the book's really about designing lives they love to live, not existing. Because so many people just kind of like think that they have to be martyrs or they have to work hard. Like the things that we were raised with, at least I was raised with, is you got to work hard.
So at what point in your life did you start writing the book then? Did you already figure it out, or did you start writing it while you were learning the process? Or was this more of a guide for yourself to say, hey, I'm going to write this out, go along with it, and if it works, then I know that I'm onto something here?
It was a culmination of everything you just said. I was writing the book literally for like 4 years before I hired somebody to help me write the book.
Yeah.
Because if you've had any time in it, you'd realize that I up until a few years ago, I wasn't a student. I mean, I dropped out of high school twice, and I got my GED, and then I went to university because I was going to be a music teacher, and I found out how much I would make after going to school to get my degree as a music teacher, and I was making that already at my part-time job. Right. So I dropped out of that. Let's be honest. I didn't like school. I just wasn't, I was a free spirit. So I needed help writing because I just wasn't good at grammar and all that. And so I wrote like I speak, and that drives people really crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So
but you have your own you have a creative mind, and sometimes you can't get that out fast enough when you're writing. So I'm sure you're writing stuff and looking at it going, well, I wanted to say this, but it came out like this. And that's why like sometimes bringing somebody else in is a huge help. How have you developed all of this after 4 years of working on this? Are you still seeing things that you are growing with and wanting to build a better Sam all the time? I knew it.
Well, I mean, first of all, I'm a coach, so this is what I do for a living. I mean, so going back to Gavin's question, it was a culmination of practice with people. You know what I mean? It was tools that I used with clients to help them get unstuck. And because a lot of people would come in my office and I go, okay, well, what are we doing? He goes, I'm stuck. That was just a common thing. I'm really stuck. Yeah. Okay, well, in what? Oh, I don't know. Oh, I hate that. You don't get to say I don't know with me, because you do know. You may not want to verbalize it. You may not know the perfect outcome, but you know something about it. And when we start diving into that stuff. So anyway, book, I started writing it 4 years before it was published. Okay. So it was a long time ago. And it was published, 2 years ago, right?
Yeah.
So in October it'll be 2 years. Yeah. So it's
about 6 years total. So you started writing when you were 15 then, is what you're saying.
Oh my God. I love you.
I love you too.
It was right after she dropped out of the high school the first time.
It was, because I dropped out of high school the first time at 15, and then I dropped out again at 16. So you're absolutely right.
All right. So reading your bio, you've been in Canada, British Columbia.
Yeah.
You've been now you're in Mexico. All right.
I'm not in Mexico right now though. So it's a total scam that I was going to show you the ocean today. Because it's summer. It's a summer.
Yeah.
And so I get out of Cabo in the summer because it gets sweaty and hot, and I go up to the northwest. So I'm actually in Washington State, really close to the Canadian border. That's where I am in the summer, but it's only a couple months. The rest of the time, I'm in Cabo.
Why
I
Cabo?
promise.
Just out of curiosity.
Have you ever been to Cabo?
I love Cabo.
Right?
I absolutely love it. So I get it, but like you've lived in so many. All right, you're in Seattle right now, near Seattle.
Born and raised, West Seattle.
Got it. I'm going to ask this, and I'm going to love your answer. Banff Lake Louise.
Gorgeous.
Absolutely love it. I would live there and Cabo if I had my choice.
Okay. So if I got up right now and showed you the outdoors, this is what I'm doing. I live close to a lake in it's a place called Bellingham, Washington in the summers. And it's a college town, and it's got like the most, what do they call it? What are the fancy beer places? You know, they're called breweries.
Okay.
Per capita, like anywhere, to give you an idea of the hipness of this little town. And I'm out in the boonies in the middle of the woods looking at a lake next to a golf course. My life is pretty awesome.
Do you golf?
I do.
Nice.
That's why I say my husband married me in my 30s, because I didn't have kids yet and I golfed. So,
I mean,
and how old was he at the time?
He was 33. I was 32.
Okay, so you sounded like the American dream then. She's single, she has no kids, and she enjoys golfing. Do you like whiskey as well?
Scotch. Yes.
Yeah. There it is. Do you smoke cigars? That sounds so bad with the way our country.
I used to. No, I used to smoke cigars, but I also smoke cigarettes. So cigars are kind of a gateway for me if I go.
I get you. I
quit smoking cigarettes in 2012. So.
Congrats. Did you do a cold turkey, or did you have to wean off of it?
I vaped and then.
Nice.
And then I gave it up. Yeah. But I smoked, just so you know, since I was like 12 or 13. I was the kid because I wasn't really raised. My husband says I was raised by a pack of rabid raccoons or something. I wasn't really raised, so to my own device, I could do whatever I wanted. Yeah. And I was bored, so I smoked because all the cool kids smoked.
You've been alone, like you said. You raised by wolves. I love that.
Yeah.
You've lived in many different places.
Yeah.
It's hard for me not to ask questions about like building your best you when you have this amazing life you built. What did you do with being out of high school twice? How the fuck did you do this? Oh, by the way, you're allowed to swear. You get one F word. I just used mine. That's so that way you feel comfortable.
You just used mine, actually. You used yours at the beginning of the episode.
I didn't use one. I guess I used both of ours. But you get one still, Samantha, and Brett didn't use his, so you get two technically. You get two F words.
Have two.
You know what? That's fair. As long as we don't go on an F-bomb tangent and we're just like F-bombing everything.
No.
You know.
Perfect. Thank you.
How do you do you? Like at a young age, you dropped out of high school. You then turned around and you're like, I got to do it again. You went back, dropped out again. And then you turn around and you still are a success. There are people who went to college. They've done all these other things, yet they still don't live in Cabo and right outside of Seattle. Both are expensive places to live, and you're killing life. How do you do it?
I love you. I am killing life, right? Well, okay. It's funny because a lot of people say, "Oh my God, you're so lucky." I go, "Oh, dude, it's full on by design." Yeah. That's why I named the book what I did. You know what I mean? A guide to designing your life, because you're going to live two ways: either by default, life's just happening, or by design. That's your choice, default or design. So, it's one of those things. Rough childhood. So many people have it.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm not special that way. But here's the good news: my mom. Probably looking back at it was mentally ill, that's all I can assume. Narcissist, those types of things. And dad alcoholic, it's a pretty normal family story. I hate to say it.
Yeah.
Showed me a lot of what not to do. So there's your lesson.
Are you the oldest child?
I'm the baby.
Son of a bitch, my sister's the baby, and she's the one that, like, I feel like I am the test product, and I love my parents.
Yeah.
I love that laugh. That was great. So I literally, we were having a conversation with my mom and dad and my sisters the other day, and we're all on this video chat, and we're talking, Texas, Michigan, Ohio. And they're like, oh, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. Mom and dad didn't let me do this and that. And then we're talking about sleepovers. My first sleepover was a freshman in high school because my mom and dad were so worried about it. Then you turn around and my sister, my baby sister, said she watched what me and my other sister did throughout all of our stuff. By the time she was 9, she was doing sleepovers, and she's just out running around, and she was picking up everything we got in trouble for and then not doing it. So I think the youngest child wins on this. Like, they get the most. Like,
Right.
I have to learn the most. They get the most out of my learning.
Right. Well, I lived with a parent figure until I was 12, 7th grade. And then my sister came to live, who was 10 years older than me. So she was only 22 when she came, and Mormon, and bless her heart, we're really tight. You know what I mean? Very different, but super tight. And then, yeah. So I learned from what my brothers did when, you know what I mean? Getting busted smoking, you know. I learned that cigarettes smell, that your parents really don't have eyes in the back of their head. Cigarettes stink, you know, growing pot on the rooftop, they'll find it. You know, that type of stuff, right?
Who grew pot? You or your brother?
My brother. No. Actually, believe it or not, because I'm a cop's daughter, and I was awkward as a kid and all that stuff. I really didn't do things. I wasn't a bad kid, if that makes sense. Yes, I smoked pot and I smoked cigarettes and I went to kegers. Don't get me wrong. It's like, oh yeah, you're a good kid. But I was a good kid. I didn't cause problems. I didn't, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
You weren't stealing. You weren't, causing gang violence or anything like that. You weren't causing hell at school because you dropped out of school. So you weren't there to cause hell. But,
And the school therapy counselors and stuff felt bad for me because I was pretty much on my own trying to do it, you know? So.
But you did it.
I did it. So I'm going to go, what?
Go back. Go ahead. I'll shut up.
Here's the thing. We can either be victims of our circumstances to get to where we're going here in our conversation. And I read about it in the book. It's like, you got to let go of the victim. I don't want to hear about your victim. You know, we all have stories. We're not our stories. We all have a story. Gavin's got a story. Brandon, you got a story. I got a story. But I'm not my story. And so you just decide. My mom was married 7 times. 7.
Wow.
Never
7.
to the same person. 7. Oh, baby, that's why I like saying 7. Oh,
were these actual
we need
invite friends and family weddings, or were these just like Vegas drive-through weddings? Some of them.
Every wedding was a wedding.
Wow. Wait.
I think I sang at 2 of them. I can't remember. I remember one I sang at for sure. You Light Up My Life. Mm-hmm.
Good for that photographer. Assuming that it was the same one each time.
Yeah. So I learned from that is what I'm getting at. So what happened is that when I went down, I started going the same path, right? I married my very own abusive alcoholic because, no one was going to tell me what to do.
Yeah.
Right.
And then I realized that she was never taking responsibility ever for the demise of any of her relationships or her businesses or anything. It was always blame, and it wasn't working. So I just went, what's going on, Sam? What's going on? And I started doing work, and that's it. So there's your answer. I started working on myself. And as far as being successful in business and stuff, that's a pure drive for security because I didn't have security as a child. I didn't know, there was always somebody knocking on the door, giving lawsuit papers or serving or, you know what I mean? So it was all about security. So there you go.
Wow. Like, that's a unique, like, your story is unique, but on top of that, it's how you're like, it's unique, but so do you have one, and let's flip it. Let's look at the positive. Let's find what's there. I love that, Samantha. You're doing you. Where, though, in life, you had to have a spot where it just felt like life stopped you, and you're like, son of a bitch, how do I keep going? And we all have that, and the true success stories are the ones that keep going. What was that moment for you?
It was the last time my ex-husband put the whoop on me, and he was cheating, and I was working 2 jobs trying to support him and his 2 children. And when that was it. And that was it. And that really was I'm going to use my F-bomb. What the fuck is wrong with you, Sam, that you would allow this to happen to you in your life?
I think that's a perfect way to use that there. Good job.
And that was it. And it's time. Turn it around. So that was it. And I'm picturing in my mind exactly where I was and everything when it's just like done.
So you have multiple siblings. You said that you're the baby. I am the oldest amongst all my siblings. Specifically, my one little brother, Aiden, he and I are the only 2 siblings that I have where we both have the exact same parents. All the other siblings either step or half or something else of the sort. So he and I grew up in the same household our entire life for the most part.
Exactly.
However, we turned out extremely different to how we react to everything. We had very different experiences in these households. What was
it's like
you versus
people?
What was you and your siblings versions of growing up like? How did you respond versus how your siblings responded to your mother's behavior and your father's actions?
Okay. So my mom obviously wasn't, she got married at 16 to my sister's dad. And then I don't know, 3 years later, she got married to my brother's dad. And then 3 years later, she got married to my other brother's dad. And then 4 years later, she got married to my dad. And then all the other ones were after us. Yeah. So we all have different parents, different dads.
Wow.
But I'm the youngest. So I only lived with my dad, if that makes sense. Like, yeah, my dad was the only real dad to my brothers and sister. Makes sense? Because they were together like 10 years. That was a record, 10 years. And things, we're very different, but we've also become very close. As far as going with my mom, one of my brothers tried to save her many, many times, sending her money and trying to dig her out. And, the narcissism in her, it was never enough. And so she did some horrible things to him. So he cut her off. My other sister had stopped talking to her, and we would not allow the young children to be around her and her boyfriends for good reason. Yeah. And then my other brother always kind of stayed connected to her. They're very, very much alike. And he's a lovely person. So it's not like they're much alike because they're, bad or whatever. Yeah. And I did not cut my mom off until I was 45. And by the way, she's got full-blown dementia, and I am back in her life as of 2 years ago or 3 years ago. But at 45, I saw what she was doing to my kids. I go, no, now we're done. Yeah. You know what I mean? I always wanted her to have a relationship with her grandchildren and, them to have a grandma and all that.
But you need to have those boundaries.
Oh, no, Mama Bear comes out. When you start fucking with my kids, it's on. Yeah. I just used my second F. I'm done now.
You still have 35 minutes. You should have waited.
Oh, I can use other words. I'm
creative.
She's a writer, remember? She's
I have two boys, and I had, 2 more stepbrothers. So I grew up with 4 older brothers, truthfully.
So I'm going to ask, and this is going to be more of a personal question that you can reject if you want, but are you worried because your mother has dementia now that might become a family trait that you inherit later? And how are you doing what are you doing to see what you could do to prevent that for yourself?
Yeah. I did my little 23andMe thing, and I have a slightly increased chance. I take care of myself pretty well as far as supplements and CBD, THC, all that kind of good stuff. I do. I'm a pretty healthy girl.
Now, when you say healthy, we take that in a very different way here at the Delight Cafe. Okay. Is it mental? Is it emotional? Is it diet? Is it exercise? How does Sam do Sam?
I call that wellness. First of all, what you just said, wellness, health and well-being. It's a topic in the book too, health and well-being. I I do Sam, as in I do my supplements, and I go out and I walk and I listen to, fun or positive things. I do not engage in really depressing things or conversations. It's not that I'm denying the facts. I'm not denying the facts. I'm very aware of the facts. I choose to energize the truth about things. So it has a lot to do with your mental health, in my opinion, has a lot to do with your health on a cellular level to boot. And where you vibrate at, your frequency, where are you vibrating at? So yeah, does that answer it? I take care. I think I take care of all of that. I work hard at it. And because as I said, I'm going to be 55 next month or September. My body is not 14.
September what? Oh, okay, close. Now, my ex-wife was September 29th. I always try to make sure I don't meet people that have.
She's a Libra, though. I'm a Virgo. Trust me, all the way through and through.
I could tell right off the bat you were better than her.
Oh. Is that honey?
Is your husband there?
He's in the other room, yeah.
Would he come on? Could I pick on him, or would he not come on?
Just so you know, he would, and he's brilliant. So I would suggest you arm yourself well.
What does your husband do for a living?
He's a web designer, marketing guru for,
Yeah, I'm not going to pick on him because he can hack my website and make it look bad. Then he'll be like, "Oh, whoops! All of a sudden, your website's deleted, Mr. Pick on Me."
Oh, there's no list there. Oh, look, I have a list. Yeah.
Right? So now, Samantha, you have a lot of fun things happening here. What is something that excites you every day to get you out of bed?
Serving people.
Oh, I love that. Can you please elaborate a little bit on that? Like, how do you serve people daily? Because that means something different to everybody.
Yeah. Well, the work I choose to do in the world is to be of service, and it's not to be confused with my donation and that other thing. Those they're under the same umbrella. But thanks.
Absolutely.
I love helping people. And I just decided it's okay to get paid for that. And you know what I mean? And I did go back to school, by the way, to become a certified coach. Could you imagine? And I didn't quit that.
I love that.
Thank you.
Because you can't. You saw that you had more to give. You stuck yourself.
Thanks.
Oh my God, I love this picture. Guys, look at the screen right now. Look how happy Samantha looks in this picture right in the middle of the screen. Absolutely love it.
In the middle of the screen.
Middle of the screen, and now look at her smiling. She's staring you down. Oh, I love your bracelet. I have the same one. Sorry, ADD.
It broke.
What?
Yeah.
No. All right. So go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. So I love being happy. I love my kids. I love my husband. I love my life. And I know that sounds really hokey. Do I have bad days? Yeah. I'm sitting here, and in America, things are very expensive. I'm remembering one of the reasons I moved to Mexico. Like, my fireplace is toast. I have a gas insert. And then, anyway, long story short, it's like $8,000 just to put the gas and redo everything again. I'm like, oh, what?
Oh my God.
Yeah, because the firebox that the insert goes into is all destroyed, so they can't repair anything. They've got to replace everything, which means they have to pull out and demo. And I'm like, what? Anyway, so it's not like my life is, sunshine and lollipops all the time, but I decide what I give energy to. Yeah, that sucks. Oh well.
How do you decide that, though? So, you go into a room, and I'm going to use an example for this.
Yeah.
I love how I can walk into a room, and everybody has this. You feel the energy. If there's people fighting, you know that. Even if you don't know the people, you can feel it.
If you're tuned in. Yep.
Yes. So how do you, when all of a sudden you're in a situation and someone comes out and you have this come happen, and you feel that energy and you're not liking it, whether it's your kids to somebody else that you don't even know, how do you create that boundary for yourself so you don't let people cross over and offend you?
Oh, well, It's kind of hard.
I don't
He's
think
not
they
asking me.
Yeah.
I
I'm
know
like,
your answer.
are you getting the vibe off me yet? I'm pretty.
You're chill.
Yeah.
I like, look, you and I are THC friendly. We're both happy with these types of things. I already knew you were cool, but there's a lot of negative energy out there. And
Okay,
I
so
know
what's the
personally.
cool?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So I'm gonna pimp my book again. Actually, in my book, there's something called a pimp because I like to have fun. Powerful, important morning practice. Right? So what's your pimp, man? And then I give you a soul food menu. And the soul food menu is meditation, it's visualization, it's breathing, it's exercise, it's, there's a list of like 10 things that people can choose from to pop into their pimp in the morning. Gratitudes.
Mm.
One of the great things about having things go to shit in your life. Can I say shit, or did I just waste that too?
No, you get as many of those as you want. Shit, talk all day about that.
Okay. So one of the great things about having shit in your life, like a tough childhood or bad things happened or whatever, is that you made it through.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's a choice. And so far, everybody I know has made it through.
Mm-hmm.
If you're sitting here, you made it through it.
Mm-hmm.
Think about that for a second. It's all worked out. Maybe not how you wanted to, but so far, up until now, I can guarantee you it's all worked out. You're still here.
Yeah. That's one of the things I like to say is, well, if you didn't die, you didn't die.
Well, it's the same thing, right? It's like, okay, so here's the thing is you start having experience. You go, okay, that was a shitty time. Yeah. I've had really great times since then. So what I want to do is I want to put on those really great times and shift my energy. It's possible. Change your state, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't really feel like I don't really get into a situation where I get a lot of negativity around me. And usually I think that the good can outweigh the bad. I think usually if I have to be with somebody, either I'll remove myself or I'll up their vibe. I'll call them.
All right. I want to know again, really quick, what is pimp? I was trying to write it for myself really quick.
It's a powerful, important morning practice.
I'm writing that just so I don't forget.
Good.
Powerful, important morning
practice. You can do it at night too, but it's not as fun to say.
And it's pint.
Yeah. It's pint. Pint with pint. Oh, it'd be pint.
Pint. Yes. Oh, see, we combined. We got it. Now you mentioned raising people's energies like to your level. With that being said, how do you do that? Because I love to raise people to my energy. So many people ask me all the time that question. They're like, Brandon, you're so much energy and you're this light. And I attract the worst people or the best people. I have nothing in between. It's the weirdest thing. I can be with Viola Davis, one of these Academy Award winners. Yeah. And then I'm turning around and I'm with like the homeless guy that wants to like talk to me about everything going on in his life. And for me, changing my vibration.
He's not the worst person. He's just a person that's attracted to your energy.
I was gonna say, damn, Brandon.
I meant it as like I talk to everybody. I didn't mean him as the worst person. No, I just did what I said. It came out wrong. Thank you both. I appreciate that. I'm meaning I go all over, and I have people all over my life that can be good, bad, rich, poor, famous to nobodies. Yep. And changing my energy to the people that are not leveling up. When I'm around them, like you said, you don't want them. Your hair looks wonderful, by the way. I saw it. You were like, "Oh, I'm just jealous." That's mainly it. I want to keep making her laugh because of that. Like it's that under the breath laugh that I like. So now I lost my question. How do I raise my energy to raising them to mine?
Okay, first of all, you just show up. Yeah. Honest to goodness, you just show up. I mean, how many times have you heard people saying, "Oh my God, I just dig their vibe," or "I just really like being around that person," or whatever? Like I'm thoroughly enjoying hanging out with you guys right now. I like your
Love
vibe.
hanging with you.
I like your
Yes.
vibe. So it's plain and simple. I mean, if I was sales coaching you and I'm trying to get you to, get people on your side,
Yes.
then that would be a different technique. I don't think about it, but I'll tell you what that technique is you meet people where they are energetically. So if someone's kind of like this, then you meet them at the kind of like this, and then you slowly bring them up here and they come with you.
Do
Mhm.
you think a lot? Are you someone who's like analyzing a room when you're quiet and all that, and you're seeing everybody like people watching?
No.
No, you're just
No.
in your world.
I like to turn my brain off.
How?
So,
Sorry.
right?
I get told a lot that my mind runs constantly, and it's very obvious.
Yeah.
And I read, I meditate, I exercise, I eat right, but my mind goes 100 million miles an hour at all times, and everybody sees that. How do you shut your mind off?
Quiet the Monkey Mind. Have you ever seen that YouTube? Oh, you got to watch it. Quiet the Monkey Mind.
Explain, elaborate.
No.
Please.
I don't teach it. I don't teach people to quiet their monkey mind. It's like pick from the list what's for you. First of all, I trust in a power greater than myself. I'm not going to tell you what it is because I don't know. In the book, I call it the God, the Grand Overall Designer. Okay. So it's spirit, God, white robe, or energy. I don't know. For sure energy, because that's
a vague a man with like a beard or a sword, vague, mystical kind of deal.
Could be. I don't know. You know what I mean? And when I have my prayers of gratitude or affirmations or all that kind of good stuff, that's how I calm the monkey mind. Is I usually go to gratitude and appreciation for all that I do have. Period. It's just really, and it's all working out. It's just a way. So I don't get really stressed. I will tell you, I'm super embarrassed because I got baited into a conversation the other day and I lost my shit. And I can honestly tell you that it's been like 4 years since I got that worked up. So
was it something that you're just particularly passionate about, or were you just sort of having like an off day that you allowed yourself to get into that situation, or
both?
Gotcha.
Gavin, you're good because you do the umbrella questions where it's like, yeah, the magnet, they both suck up to that. Yeah, it was both. It was about friends and family and a community that's strongly affected and dying of COVID. And I'm very, obviously, when you're losing friends, right?
Yeah.
So, it was a hot topic.
So, but with that, as you're losing friends, like you said, you're building you up. It's creating over 2020, I got tired of the negativity. Yeah. And I just said, I'm done with people. I'm done with this. I'm going to go build my best Brandon. And the people that are going to be around me are going to be the ones that are supposed to. And it was absolutely one of the most unique, crazy experiences in my life because people I haven't talked to since middle school are like now best friends with me again. And like it came out of nowhere. And then the people who sorry.
No, no, but that's living a purposeful life. I mean, that's that energy, the toxic. When you make a decision, which you did, when you make a decision, God, spirit, universe, you all comes in and goes, fuck, right.
You're fine.
It says right on. Thanks for making a decision. Let me help lay it out for you.
Yeah. Yes.
So, and it's not accidents. You know what I mean? A lot of people say, "Oh, it's what a coincidence."
What are your fur babies? I have to ask.
My fur babies. Okay, so I have Gloria, who is a black dog and I just say black dog because she might be Whippet, might be lab, don't know, but she doesn't like water because we rescue. We're rescue freaks. And she's a black dog in Mexico, and in a lot of places people don't like black dogs, but especially in Mexico. And so we rescued her because she was the only black dog and her ears fall over and she wasn't cute, and we left her. So that's Gloria. And the other one was, I don't know if you guys know this, but we had a wicked category 5 hurricane hit Cabo in 2014 on my birthday.
Wow.
No.
And we didn't have power for like a dozen days, and people abandoned ship and left their animals. And so we would go to the Humane Society and go and walk dogs and do what we could.
Yeah.
And it was way overfilled. Like it should have been able to hold 70 animals, and it had 148, that type of thing. And so my husband picked out a Chihuahua that this thing was a bag of bones. Its nails were this long. It's, was bigger than anything on its body because it was so skinny.
Oh my God.
So now we have a Chihuahua named Chewy, which Chewy is actually the nickname for Jesus in Spanish. Jesus.
I was thinking Chewbacca, but all right.
My kids said that because they were little back then. Oh, it's like Chewbacca. Yeah, that's it. So there you go. And then we
Chewbacca
adopted.
is Jesus.
Yep. So then we adopted a orange kitten that was born in a wheel well because we never had a cat as a family, and he's cool too. So those are the fur babies.
What's your cat's name?
Charlie.
Ooh, it's your first cat? Is this your first cat ever?
No, just as a family.
How are you enjoying it?
I'm getting used to it. I mean,
yeah.
See, I love cats, and I didn't always love cats. I 99% of my life have been a dog person.
Yeah. And
I dated this one girl, and we fell in love with this cat, and we got it together and all this. And after that, every cat I'm around, I absolutely I will go and just pet them and love on them. I love cats now, and they love me. My goal is to sleep with a room full of cheetahs and just hold them all one day. Just kidding.
Oh yeah, no, they don't. The thing about cats is that I love dogs because you're like their favorite person all the time, and cats are like.
I've tried to be a cat person for well over a decade now, and I still have no interest in them. They drive me insane. I have two now, and all they do is meow at 4 a.m, keep me up late. The one enjoys to knead on my crotch while I'm sleeping. Yeah, I've thrown her across the room several times now, but the damn thing keeps landing on its feet. So
that's what cats do, man.
I know. I haven't figured out the angle to launch her at yet.
She owns you. Get used to it. That's over.
Yep.
Oh no. Yep.
The kneading is when they're you're theirs, buddy. That's their way of saying they love you. She's loving on you.
Don't care. She's gonna get fed to the boa if she keeps doing it.
Okay, there you go. So Brandon, you asked about how I got to Mexico. Right?
Yes. I'm sorry.
No, don't be sorry. We decided. That's it.
But you decided. But Mexico's big. You could have gone to Mexico City. You could have gone to San Lucas. You could have gone. I did go to San Lucas.
I did go to Cabo San Lucas.
Touche. Okay, touche. I did say that wrong.
Here's the quick and neat, down and dirty. Born and raised in Seattle. Met my husband in Whistler, BC. We were set up. I didn't know we were going to be set up, but we were set up. And fell in love and married him 10 months later. And at the time, I had moved to Palm Desert, California. And because I couldn't be in Canada working because I'm American. And so I moved back up to Whistler, and it was only going to be for like 6 months. And then 7 years later, and a couple of kids, went down to Mexico. I have a tie to Mexico because one of my mom's crazy jobs was moving me to Mexico when I was in grade 9. So I already knew, and that was Mazatlan. So I love Mexico. I love the Mexican people. I love all that. My ex-husband's family had a house in Cabo in 1989. And so I started going to Cabo. And then my brother moved there in 1992. And so I kept going to Cabo. And so then I just was in love with Cabo, and that would be where we would go every year for vacation. We'd pick a new place and go to Cabo. So you go to the familiar, and then we'd find a new place. After 9/11, we realized we missed things that we had to go someplace new to explore before it was gone, right? And so that was it. And then I went down one year, and my husband and my eldest son were still here, and I was there with my just turned 2-year-old with me. And I said, it's time. And he's like, what? And I go, it's time. And I go, my turn. You said next move was mine. Let's do it. 6 months or 6 years. Let's do it. And we rented out our house, and that was in 2007.
Wow.
I think this is so cool because like you've gone one country to another, you've lived in the US, you've got to experience it. Where would you in the world, because I'm guessing you've been more places than that, where would you recommend everybody has to see at least once?
Oh, I love Mexico. I love Banff. That's a tough one. That's not fair. It's
Okay,
like, what are you into? For instance, in Mexico, one of our favorite cities is a town called Guanajuato.
Say that again.
Guanajuato.
Okay, I don't know that one.
It's cool. It's anyway. So, and it's just a little town, and in that same state is a place called San Miguel de Allende, which everybody goes to. It's the artist place. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Guanajuato is super authentic and real, and yeah, love it. So,
So is it your husband's next turn to choose where you go then?
he did.
Oh, he has.
He got to pick this place in Bellingham because I wanted to live in a high rise. I know that sounds crazy, but when you live in resort towns, and I grew up in the city. I grew up in Seattle.
Yeah.
I missed it. And so I wanted our summer place to be like, I want to live in a high rise, and I want to be able to go down to the market and, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And he talked me out of it. And I'm so grateful he did. I'm so grateful he did. He's the one that picked, I want a golf course and I want to be in a, what are you doing? Did you just hijack my?
I liked it. I'm following and I liked it. See, liked. I already did. I was. Are you hijacking my Facebook? Yep. I just hijacked it. You have no idea what's about to go on there now.
Exactly.
You're seeing how good of a designer and a programmer your husband really is.
Go back. That's mine. Go back and look at my title.
Look at my title. Give me 1 second. I have to reopen it. Boom.
Up there. No, up there.
Certified coach, ass kicker extraordinaire, and best-selling fucking author. I love it. Yeah, I used another F word. That's because I'll use mine tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm already up for tomorrow, and it's fuck Fridays.
Right. Exactly. Okay, we're up to Tuesdays.
The audience knows I try to keep it there. It's just to be respectful, because you never know if a kid's going to come in the room, and I don't know other people's situations. And one F word is okay. It's just being fair. We have days we have a little more, but it's fun. Yeah. Everybody, I want you to go like, comment, share, and follow Samantha on her Facebook page right now. Click off of it. Oh, heck yeah. We want people to follow you. You're bringing a positive energy. You're teaching people to unstuck themselves.
Yeah.
Have you read the Unfuck Yourself book?
I have. I don't like it.
I didn't like it at all.
Thank you.
The Subtle Art of Not Giving an F. I did enjoy. Yes. I did like that one better. But F Yourself, I got quarter of a way through it, and I gave it to somebody on a plane because I hated it that much.
Okay. I didn't even get a quarter way through it.
How many pages was
it? I think I went 15 pages in, and I'm just like, this is just shit.
So I've never read it. What was wrong with it?
Sorry, I didn't mean to laugh. It just I felt that way.
I think that the hype of it was how many times they could drop the F-bomb.
And that's
the first part. Yep. That's all it was. It's how many times can I shock you? And the other thing is the part I got into, I don't even remember what the theory was, but it was bullshit. I just was like, no. No, this is not even good advice. Right?
Yes. Yes, I feel the same way. The first chapter, Gavin, is like he is writing to just get the F word out there. Yeah. Like it felt like he was pushing it. It felt like I was reading, and you guys know I am not someone who gives a crap about that word. I have a T-shirt that says it on it. Like I did not like that his book. I didn't like his rebuttal book that he wrote after it. I checked it out while standing in a bookstore just to see if maybe he made himself better, and it didn't. It made it.
No.
It was all aggressive swearing to sound cool, and that's how I felt. I felt like a 5-year-old wrote it.
Twinsies. I am totally with you on that. And here's the thing, guys. If I could rewrite this book, which I could, I would write it 25% differently. 20%.
Really?
Well, it was my first go at it. The people that helped me I would write how I talk.
Yeah.
And I would send it to them. And they were just supposed to make it grammatically correct and everything. And they'd say, well, you can't do it that way. You can't say that. You don't want to offend your readers. I go, if they're offended, they're not my readers. Let's be clear. There's number one. Number two.
Right?
Yeah. Number two is that the way that you type that is not how I would express it. And I'm really not teaching anybody anything that hasn't already been out there. The difference is my voice. The difference is how I share it. I didn't invent this stuff. I learned it. I applied it. It works. Right. Mm-hmm. So there was a bit of a battle in that. So it takes a while to start sounding like me, if that makes sense. The book, it takes a while for you to go, oh, there she is, if you know me. Mm-hmm. Okay. And so I actually prefer it on Audible because I talk it. So now it's like, oh, okay, now I get it. Right.
Yes. So did you read your book on Audible? I just have to ask, like, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
So you're the audio too.
I'm the person. Yeah. I'm the person doing the Audible.
How long did that take you to record?
Too long. Not long. No, because
which one is it?
we no, it took maybe 8 hours.
Okay.
Did you ad-lib anything? Like, you're not supposed to.
No, but that's what I would have done. That's what I'm trying to say is it was my first time and I didn't know. I would have ad-libbed and I would have, because I listened to something that I can't remember his name right now. That's what happens. No, I don't have dementia. I have menopause. Anyway, so anyway, there's somebody that I listened to, Gary Vaynerchuk.
Oh, I know Gary. I love Gary Vaynerchuk.
Gary V.
Great person to listen. Yes.
If you listen to Gary V, he's like, okay, wait, I got to change this. And his audibles. And I wish I would have known that. Now, right now, for fun, I'm listening to Green Lights, and it's super fun to listen to.
That's the second time I've been referred that way. I've been told Green Lights.
The first 10 minutes, you're going to go, really? I'm just saying, because you and I are going to be the same in this. You're going to be like, oh my God, this is kind of exhausting to listen to for the first 10. And then super fun. I do it on hikes and I find myself just smiling and nodding and yeah. It's a great, you'll fall in love with Matthew McConaughey if you, he even makes fun of the Lincoln commercials himself, but he made a buttload of money. So good on him. Right? There you go.
Right. I can't be mad at you on that. He is adorable, and I'm a man, and I will tell you right now, I think he is just a great guy. He is someone that a lot of guys should look up to. Like he's a good example.
I agree.
Do you ship all over the world by chance?
Yeah, I don't do it. Amazon does it. And so I'm on Amazon CA, Amazon Australia, Amazon blah, blah, blah.
So Lena here is from Sweden, and she's going to want to read your book. So is that going to be your first time selling in Sweden?
I don't know.
Tell you? That'd be cool if you had like a chart that told you what your demographic is.
Yeah. That's why I was asking.
If I had self-published, I would have that because my son self-published and at 16, he's brilliant. Anyway, he's self-published and he can see all that stuff. I have to ask the person that did it for me. See, that's something you'll learn about me too. If I don't want to do something, I want an expert to do it. I don't want to do it.
That's fair.
I agree 100%. I'd rather pay someone and get my vision out and they see it.
Yes. I want to operate in my genius. And I want people operating in their genius.
Yeah.
Okay, let me hear about, is it Lena? What was her name? in Sweden?
Oh, Lena, she just said she wanted to buy your book. She wants to read your book. So I wanted to make sure she had the opportunity to. I put your link up here. Like this is everything. Your Facebook link, your Amazon link, even your webpage. 3 different like ways to click it, guys. Do not hesitate to go click those and go support Samantha. She is doing great things. Your son's book, is it on Amazon?
Yes, and it's fiction. It's fictional, of course.
Should we push it, or are we just going to go Samantha's book today? And I have to. How old's your son now, by the way?
18.
So he's old enough. We could interview him about his book.
Well, it's fictional, and he drops the F-bomb a lot in the book.
That's all right.
Because he was a teenager, and like he could.
Yeah,
I mean, my book, I can do what I want, Mom. It's like, that's true. Go for it.
Yeah. Did you homeschool just out of curiosity? Because writing a book as a kid is not something you hear about most often.
Okay, my kid's way smarter than me. Let's be clear. Both my kids are way smarter. My husband and I always say that it's like it skipped a generation because they didn't get it from us. Just kidding.
That was a great answer.
You know what? It was lockdown. The first 3 months of lockdown, and he set a goal of writing 2,000 words a day.
Wow.
And he did it, and then he would have published it earlier, but because he was born in Canada, we moved to Mexico. He didn't have a social security number to get a bank to open his own account, So that's the only reason it didn't get published until he was 17, because we were waiting, and we ended up publishing under his name, but obviously me, because it's like, let's get it out there. And now he's working on a screenplay. I know. He's cool.
So proud of your son.
I'm too. It's super cool. And he's going to university in Canada in the top 20 global writing in the world.
That's phenomenal.
I know. His name is Kai Hugeson, if you want to look it up, you guys. Kai Hugeson. And the name of the book is In the Shadow of the Cascade. And it's about the apocalypse. It's after the apocalypse, and it's up here. If you've ever been in the corridor from driving like from Washington up into Whistler, up into the mountains there, it's very cool. It's super cool through Vancouver and up into Squamish, and yeah.
Is Ty Tye?
No, Kai.
Oh, Kai. I heard you.
Kai.
Sorry.
Ocean.
The wrong lyric, Brandon.
Yeah.
I really thought she said Ty both times because I was writing In the Shadows of Cascade.
In the Shadows of the Cascade.
Of the Cascade.
Shadows of the Cascade, yeah. Kai Hugeson.
Yep. Hugessen. I have dyslexia, so I'm trying to be extra cautious.
Oh, cool. Look at it on Amazon.
Yep. I'm pulling it up here. That way everybody just copies it and pastes it. Absolutely. 100%.
He's going to be so happy.
Huge congrats to your son. Like 100%. Yes.
Thank you.
That's a very unique thing. Like 1% of the population will write a book. Less people will write a book than people that will run a marathon. So for your son to do it, I didn't know that. Oh, I learned. So 0.1% of the entire. So 0.1 of 1% of the entire world will actually run a marathon. So we see, like, you see like a Disney marathon, New York, all this. You see all these people. Yeah. You don't realize that is just. There's so many people that are running for themselves and all that. And if the whole world was to be running, it's like those would be so much bigger. Like they really are. It's amazing the amount of people that go do these things because it's not like everywhere in the world goes and runs like that. So for book writing, think of other countries that don't have books as readily available. Correct. So writing a book is less people have wrote it because my goal is to do both of them before I'm 40. So I just made this goal like within the last year. So
I'm super psyched for you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Well, and you have to because you're a really cool person, and clearly you need to get something. There's something out there that somebody needs to hear that you need to write. I believe that wholeheartedly. If you don't do what you feel is have a strong pull to do, you're kind of screwing people over because there's somebody out there that's needing it, and that's why you're given that.
You know what? I 100% agree, and it's been. My whole life. I have 2 master's degrees and I still hate writing. Like I hate writing. I do not like to sit down and
have somebody interview you and tell them everything you want them to type. That's what I did.
Real. So I've thought of that.
I mean, I
And
did both. I sent them transcripts and they would interview me and we would talk.
those 4 years at the beginning, and I see the time, Gavin. You can take us out in a second, get us ready to go. But I'm talking to you like we're best friends, like we're just catching up and having.
I know.
Coffee. But
It's
those
so
first
cool.
4 years, did you on your first 4 years of going out and doing that?
Sun.
That's how much you radiate light. Like, look, it's just coming into you. You know.
Right.
But with that, like, you had to be writing something during that. You weren't hiring someone during those.
No,
4 years.
I wrote until I hired somebody, because it's like, okay, I wrote 7 chapters of it or 8 chapters of it. And then I turned it into a workbook. So that's the thing, you guys, as you get this book, it's a workbook. I really want change for people. I don't want to just have them go, that sounded really cool. Sounding really cool is very impressive, but it doesn't create change. Yeah. So do the work. Do the work. Don't be chicken. Do it.
I love that.
Deal. So
we came up to the end of the episode here, so I had to cut you two off. Yeah, Samantha, thank you so much for being on. One of the things we like to do at the end here is we do a final word. It could be a sort of like a fortune cookie kind of thing. It could be a positive affirmation, a word of advice, something you've taken away from it. I'm going to go first, and then we'll have Brandon go, and you as the guest will go last.
Okay, cool. Thanks, Gavin.
Absolutely. So what I like to take from this episode is something that Samantha said earlier on, which is you can either live life in default or design. I absolutely love that. And I feel like we fall into default extremely easily because that's just what it is default, where you're drifting through the motions of going to work, waking up, doing some housework, coming back home, the same thing over and over and over again. If you realize what you're going on with that and you start setting these little goals throughout each day, you have daily goals and you have weekly goals. And that is pushing towards whatever your big image is, the bigger picture in your life. If you set these goals and you continuously go through them, then it purposefully makes your default the design. And that's what you want to do in life. Instead of living in default or living in design, make the design your default.
Well said, buddy. Well said. Today's Thursday. The weekend's coming up. We got through Hemp Day. We got through Hump Day. I hope everybody got humped and had a great time. End of the day, we're halfway through the day already. It's noon on the East Coast. It's 9 a.m. on the West Coast. And all over the world, we're celebrating a day that we can easily turn around and be thankful for. Think of someone in your life that you haven't talked to in a while, and just randomly send them a text saying, hey, thank you for being you. Do not expect a response. Do not expect anything in return. Just give the appreciation to someone that you were grateful for at some point. Doesn't matter who it is.
I don't want the show to end. I love you guys. I want
love
to hang
you.
out with you all day. Okay, I'm going to throw out a few words, and one of them is that word decide. Decide for something. Don't try. Nobody gets to say, oh, I'm going to try. No, just do it or don't. Do it and fail. That's fine. That's just feedback. But don't tell me you're going to try. There's number 1. Number 2 is do it imperfectly. Stop waiting for everything to be perfect. Don't wait for the conditions. I'll do it when this happens or when I get that. Just do it. And if it's not perfect, it's okay, because it'll get you further down the path. The last thing is let go of the how. Once you decide for something, and you know that it's truly what you would love to have, don't worry about how to get it. Just what could you do today in the direction of having that, and take a small step. That's it for the day.
Absolutely amazing. Thank you, Samantha. We'd hang out with you all day as well. Yeah. You are wonderful. I'd love to have you back, or even get you on one of our other shows that we have at the Delight Network. I reshared your link from the Amazon, so that way everybody is able to just click that link only and be able to get it. I saw the comment there from Lena saying, is it the handwritten with tattoos on the cover? And I'm like, nope, let me share the right book.
Yeah.
Is it one? No. It's here. I'll show
one.
it. Yep, I was just about to pull that up. I can pull it on the screen if you want. That way,
of course I do.
Of course,
I'm so grateful for the support.
Oh, absolutely. I
Yeah.
am very. There's only one left in stock around me, so that just shows you how
Oh,
popular
wow.
the book is. Get out there, get your copy today, guys. Unstuck yourself, support Samantha, and help
Thank
change
you.
the world around you.
That's it.
Absolutely. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Tomorrow is Friday. Make sure to bring your faithfulness and be ready to change the world with us, because it's a faithful Friday. Guys, have a good one. Samantha, thank you again.